We have a phrase for people like you. DV is what there is. Davos Virgins. First time at the,
that is true.
At the Economic Forum. What do you make of it, Jim?
Well, I'll tell you what, there are a lot of people I know that are here. I think there are a lot of important topics being discussed. I think if I'd known what Davos was all about, I might have come years ago.
Really?
Yeah.
It is a hothouse environment that really allows people like you to think and talk and meet in a wide spectrum of events.
Well, I just got done with the panel. It was about Russia. And we had many industrials on the panel. And I think we have very similar experiences and also some similar frustrations.
Which are?
Oh, I think bureaucracy is one. Ease of doing business is another. I think we've all had very positive experiences here. And I think we were all very pleased with what the President said last night about the 10 things that he wants to do to make business easier to do. And we're very encouraged with what we've heard.
Okay. Let's jump straight to the knotty problem of the 787. Eighth delay, seventh, depending on your definition.
Yeah.
I counted them last week, and it seemed to be the eighth. It's costing you billions. Now, you must be starting to get annoyed.
Well, I don't know that we're annoyed, Richard. I mean, we at Boeing always push technology. We always make a very capable airplane. And I think we overstretched this time with some of our technologies. And I think we didn't completely think through the supply chain that we put in place. I think we've been able to address the technology issues. We've pulled some work back from the supply chain. We're doing it internally. I think we're on the final stretch here. We're back in the flight test program, and we hope to deliver in the third quarter. And when it's delivered, this is going to be an airplane that's going to change the world. We're changing the world that airplanes are built, and we're going to change the way people fly.
And you're changing the way, though, Boeing now has to rethink, because obviously I'm sure within the company you are pulling this thing apart to see what you could have.
Well, obviously, whenever you have an issue, you want to learn from it. We're doing a variant of the 787-8, the 787-9. We're doing more of the work inside the company now. We want to make sure that we don't lose control, like we did on the 787-8.
Are these major infrastructure projects, like the 787 and the 74-8 Intercontinental, are they simply so vast and complex now that there's an inevitability about the process?
I don't think it has to be.
I'm sorry?
I don't think it has to be inevitable that we have issues. I mean, we have learned a lot of lessons from those programs. We need to have a little more discipline up front. We need to mature the technologies better. We have to look at these programs through, I think, clear glasses in terms of what we have to do before we launch them. I'm very confident as we go forward we can learn from these mistakes and we can be successful going forward. You have to realize that we hadn't done a major development program at Boeing since the 777. That was 20 years ago. We had lost a lot of the institutional knowledge. We have got a lot of institutional knowledge now. We've trained 12 to 14,000 engineers on how to do it right.
So will you be using those? That's a gift of an answer to my next question, Jim. Will you be using that now to rebuild the 737? You said you're not going to re-engine. If you don't re-engine, that either means you leave it as it is or you rebuild and redesign.
Well, Richard, you really don't expect me to announce a new program on CNN today, do you? And we're not. Right now, we really haven't decided what we're going to do with the small airplane. I've made the statement before that we can't find a compelling reason or a compelling business case to do the 737 re-engine, but it's still something we're looking at. I think it's very possible we could do a new airplane, though.
Oh, that's tantalizing. You've given me the tantalizing. So you are not ruling out a new plane.
We're not ruling it out. I think there are really three things we're looking at: a re-engine, continuing to improve the 737 next generation, and we can continue to do that, and then ultimately do a new airplane sometime towards the end of this decade.
The market's getting crowded at the smaller end of the market, isn't it? The Russians are now back in it. The Chinese are in the market and picking up orders, or they picked up a few orders. Embraer's in it, CRJ's in it. Is somebody going to get hurt?
Well, the days of a duopoly, I think, are behind us. We're going to be competing against 5 or 6 different companies. And, competition's good. It makes you focus. It makes you do better. It makes you innovate. And all we can do is control what we have control of. And we need to make sure while these new entrants are building today's airplane, we're building tomorrow's airplane. And that requires a lot of investment in technology, and we're doing that.
Two more areas I just need to touch on. Firstly, the WTO report, which is due out at the end of the month. Most of us have forgotten what it was all about. Certainly no one's read the whole reports and the preliminary proceedings from first page to last page. But the thrust of it is there's guilt on both sides.
Well, I think if, I haven't read either document either, but my take on it is we did not get any illegal launch aid. The competitor did. I think the WTO found that both of us got some indirect subsidies, us from NASA, the Europeans from ESA. But in terms of launch aid, I think that the finding was that we didn't have any.
Finally, President Obama, State of the Union, talked about jobs. We have the new jobs. We have Jeff Immelt and the Presidential Commission. Now, Boeing is a vast employer in that respect, so you must be involved and concerned.
Well, we are involved. I think one of the biggest fears that I have is that as our engineering talent ages and retires, that we're not having young people going into science, technology, engineering, and math. And we're certainly very supportive of what was said relative to education, very supportive of what we're trying to do relative to exports. We're seeing positive moves on export control and other areas.
But it's not a lost cause. The US is still a huge, vast exporter, but it's got a huge way to catch up.
Well, I'll tell you what, we are the largest exporter in the United States. I think we know how to build airplanes better than anybody on Earth. We're going to continue to do that, and we're going to continue to generate a lot of new jobs in the United States.
Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you, Richard.